Hello and welcome to Qsports, and thank you very much if you're just joining us. I'm Umudu Gajaga. Welcome along to the program. Tonight on our show, we're talking about the WAFU Cup of Nations, Senegal 2019. The last edition, which was held in Ghana, was quite successful, especially with the support of Qsports Africa, who are sponsors of the competition for the next 4 years. And on the studio, or inside the studio, I have my guest, Omar Cisse, the coach of the Gambia Under-23 team, or if you want, you can call it the WAFU team. Just in a week or so, they will be going to Senegal to compete in this competition. Well, Omar Cisse, welcome to Qsports.
Thank you very much for having me, Maru.
It's another opportunity for you. The first one was held in Ghana. I was there when you played against the host nation. This time again, when the draw came out, what first thing came to your mind when you've seen that it is Ghana that you're playing against?
It was, during the draw, it was the most famous moment when Ghana and Gambia comes together. Everybody's mind went back to the first game and what happened there. But for me, it's a dream come true because I lose to Ghana due to controversial, and I have to have an opportunity to have them again in where I can call my own home, Senegal. It's going to be a different game ball. So we are preparing very well, and we will go there and face them. And inshallah, we will be at the main tournament, which is the WAFU Cup of Nations.
Just hold on there. The WAFU Cup of Nations, which is often required to as the WAFU Cup, is an association football competition that is contested by representatives of teams of West Africa. This time around, it is going to be a competition that would have a North African side, that is Morocco, because Sierra Leone should have been part of the competition, but they were banned by FIFA by the time this competition was being staged and all the arrangements had been done. And now Morocco will be taking part. Is that an added value, or you would tend to criticize that a little bit, a team from North Africa joining a West African competition?
I think it's very good among the different regions to have a mutual understanding on a situation like this. Morocco has been very helpful to West African countries, especially Africa, when it comes to football development. So for them to be given chance to compete in such a tournament, I think that's a very good idea. In other way around, it's a disadvantage because they are a strong side. But we were fortunate that we didn't meet them in the first round. But if it is the same Under-23 team that came here that they are bringing in, which I assume they will, it wouldn't be any problem if one has to meet them during the tournament. But it's a good idea to bring them because they've been very helpful to West African countries as far as football development is concerned.
The competition format has changed. In Ghana, it was a knockout. If you are defeated, you're out of the competition, which the Gambia falls into that kind of situation. That last-minute penalty, which came in the 96th minute, 5 minutes was added
98.
on. Yes, and the penalty came in. So, and the Gambia lost by 1-0 against Ghana, controversially. You've lost your cool. At some point, in fact, you went to the referee, questioning the decision of the penalty, but television replays appears to show a debate. Some referees would give it, some referees wouldn't give it. Now with this new opportunity, even if you get defeated in the first phase of the competition, that's in the knockout, you have phase 2 of the competition.
Yes. Well, I think WAFU came up with this idea. The tightness of the tournament to this nature is that they are not fit in the CAF's calendar. So they are yet to be fit in CAF calendar. That's why they have a narrow of 12-15 days to play this tournament, which is not much time. So they come up with this idea. Instead of teams traveling long to play only one game and go back, they change the format to WAFU Cup of Nations and the plate.
Yeah.
The plate will be in a knockout form. You win, you go as you win. And the Cup of Nations, the 8 winners will be drawn into 2 groups like it was done in Ghana. About that penalty, it's for me, I would say it's an oversight because I was not expecting it. We were trying to change the goalkeeper And when I had the whistle
So
blow,
it means the Gambia were ready for a penalty shootout, and you were expecting to win against Ghana.
We were trying to bring Nyabali because Toldo, Modu Job said Nyabali is better in penalties than him. So we were preparing Nyabali to come. When I had the whistle blowing, I thought they called to the end of the game. So for me, I was frozen at one place, and it was, I think, Buffo came to me, Anthony Buffo said, bro, you've been robbed, you know.
There's so many Ghanaian journalists. When I came the following day after Gambia's game, so many people were telling me that your team, they played very well, they gave their hearts out, but I think they were robbed of the penalty.
Definitely.
And by the way, if you're watching Qsports, we're going to bring you that controversial penalty. You would see it on your pictures, in the program. We will bring you. You can be a judge for yourself. We will bring it the reverse angle multiple times. Whether if you're a referee, you're going to give that as a penalty. I
watched that game
not.
more than 50 times. Even this morning, I was watching it. Because it's a game I always watch. The performance in that game and the stability of the team to play that kind of game was very good. So I always refresh my mind to see how I can build up a team more than what we did in Ghana. It wasn't a penalty. And I will never agree when people say, yeah, referee should not give at that time. If it is a penalty, at the last second of the game, it should be given.
Yeah, it should be given.
But it wasn't a penalty at all. And many people may not believe me because they were not there. But there was a bitter argument between the fourth referee and the panel inside the field. It's like the fourth referee is pushing them to do something. I didn't speak French, but it's like he's telling them to do something. Even the linesman, many times I heard him saying something like in French, that should not be. We cannot do that.
So you thought there could be a little bit of power play?
Believe me, Modu, that tournament was meant for Ghana and Nigeria. It was totally meant for Ghana and Nigeria. That's why Ghana has.
But that's a wide claim.
This is a fact, because you can see how Ghana favored Nigeria to qualify to the quarterfinal stage.
That's when they played in the.
And let them beat them. And everybody knows that Ghana was a better side to beat Nigeria. See how they beat them in the final.
Finals, yeah.
So
by 4-1.
My advice that I gave to WAFU when I went to the workshop is that if truly they organize this tournament to develop football in the West Africa, to help CAF to develop football at certain stage, they have to do it fairly. And there are a lot of discrepancy in the way they organize the tournament. So there are certain things I will not mention, okay, but they should be very careful the way they organize the tournament. And they have to go straight forward and let the tournament played in a right. Because if they are doing things, one has come out. Because about this referee issue, when I first time talk about it, people thought I was crazy. But within 8 months, something came out. So if they don't go on the right channel, as they left, things will start revealing.
So, you know, you are somebody who is in the thick of things when it comes to WAFU controversies and issues concerning the way they organize competition. Yeah. You remember the competition which was organized in Senegal, and you know your team walk out because of a penalty shootout.
No, we didn't walk out.
Yes, whether it was going to be a penalty shootout or you were giving a replay, because according to reports before that final between Gambia and Senegal, the discussion that was made is that there was going to be extra time instead of penalties. No. And then the rules changed.
No, Modu, for me, the people who works with me, they know me very well. Yeah. When it comes to football, that's where I get my cup of tea. When it comes to football, I don't cheat. I don't believe in cheating in football. Our game against Senegal, Senegalese thought they're going to beat us because they said that from St. Louis to Dakar is too far. And the people who came, the dignitaries that came for the finals, should go back that night. And in the technical meeting, it is said that if the game goes 0-0, straight to penalty. This is what they say. Yeah. And it's at 15 minutes before the end of the game. That was the time the coach that just came with the last team that came here, the team that I lost to, is the same coach stood and called their technical director and to tell the organizers that the game should go to extra time.
Extra time.
And this was not something hiding. We were all saying it because the guy thought that he will just come. What happened? Their technical director, the coach, and one of the senior, the second vice president or the first vice president. The eve of the game, they were sitting at the hotel lobby, and I was with Alaji Boy at the reception, son of Obi Konate. He's the present team manager for us. He said, "Hey, let's go to bed. Tomorrow, in French, we FS.
Yeah.
We delete Gambians and we go home to Dakar early." So this is what they said. And the game plan that was put on them, they cannot do anything.
Mm-hmm.
They cannot do anything. This is the same team that beat us 2-0 here. More of those boys. I know my mistake. I know what happened, how they beat me.
Mm-hmm.
But
in fact, we are going to come to that.
yeah, that team, we sustained them. And then during our training, Amara Tarawale was sitting watching our training. And he saw that Mbojfai will save 4 penalties out of 5. And Senegalese know that there is no way we go to penalty, Gambia will win.
Mm.
And they did that deliberately. I will not represent Gambia and go and disgrace Gambians. But they did it deliberately because it's in their country. They can do what they do. And that WAFU is not organized. It's not organized. It's not an organized tournament.
Matches have been played at night, and then at some point they said the lights were not bright
no,
enough.
that was the 17th one.
Yeah.
For definitely, ours, the stadium was fantastic. We didn't play any game in the night.
Yeah.
The lights were good. The stadium was fantastic. Only the hotel we stayed was not good because there was a lot of insects. Even the restaurant, there should be a very big protection when we are eating. So, but the tournament, these people don't organize tournament for people to come and play fair play. Whoever wins.
Mm-hmm.
But they play tournament because they want people to come there and they give credit to themselves. They will make themselves winner.
That's another wild allegations against the
No,
West
it's
African
not an allegation.
Football
This is the fact. Because when you see how the WAFU is organized, there was a big problem between Ghana and the two WAFUs. The first WAFU event of this magnitude was organized in Senegal between only 4 African clubs.
Oh.
4 African clubs. So when they came to do the beginning of the 16th nation, the Senegalese want to host it again. Mm-hmm. And these people said, no, the first one was played in you. Now it has to go to the other zone.
Zoned, yeah.
So when it went to other zone, Ghana was lucky to have it. So now when it comes back to this zone, another country has to host it. But they take it back to Senegal again.
So lots of talking points there. But now to the main issue, the Gambia playing against Ghana in this competition for their first game. Are you ready to avenge the mistake that happened in Ghana? Although you would still claim that you were hard done by that last-minute penalty. This time, you had the opportunity. Your team have been training for quite some time. You had the experience to play against Ghana. Players might be different. It's 2 years since the WAFU Cup of Nations was played in Ghana, and this time is in Senegal. Do you have the team to upset Ghana?
Definitely we had. From the previous team, if I can recall, we have only 3 players. Only surviving 3 players.
3 players survived.
Yes,
That squad
4
played against.
4, I will say Mbai, but Mbai is nursing. We expect that he will be okay by the end of this week from his injury. But we only have Matar Sise, Janko and Hamidou. These are the only players that played in the Ghana game.
Yeah.
And the Ghana game, there is no game without a mistake. We had mistake defensively, but we immediately react to it and save it. We have chances to score. We couldn't score. So we will work on the disadvantages we have, the weaknesses we have in Ghana, and we will develop our strengths that we could not utilize, from example, from the chances that we could not. We will try to score more goals. But for me as a coach, I don't want to lose to Ghana for the second time, especially in this tournament.
Just to add on to that, I understand there is a new addition in your team, Solomon Kamfo, who is playing his football in Bangladesh and has been captain of his team, and he's been scoring goals. How would that help your team? Solomon
lately joined us. I need him in that position because my hope.
Is it midfield or
a midfield, a player making midfield. More of my hope on that position was based on Bun and other foreign-based players.
Yeah.
But now, even Bun that we are hoping we can, it came to our attention we cannot have him because he's going to be playing on the 27th in Egypt for his club, while we are playing on the 28th in Senegal. So he's definitely out of the tournament. We cannot get him.
Completely.
Yeah. So that's why we have to react immediately and bring Solomon. Solomon is yet to come to fit fully, to be fit fully, but we are working very hard on him. He is a type of player, if he is fit and listen to the coach and do his best, he can help any team. But we have this young star, Modou Cham. Everybody can see how he changed the game when he came against Senegal. And definitely during the training, he's doing very well. That particular position is a big question mark in Gambian football because is the position,
playmaker.
It's the position that is even affecting the senior team. We need players that can get ball to our striker. We have very fast strikers. The senior team, if you see the three on top, they are very quick. If they get ball constantly, they are unstoppable. They are substitutes, Buba Job, the same thing. In my team as well, you have Alaji Sarr, you have Messi, and this new striker from Brikama. He is like an airplane. He's very fast. He can reach anybody.
That's Mamadou
Bojang. So we also have Jaune, Samba Jaune. And we have a player from Belgium. He's a striker. He is very good. He's with us. We didn't make up our mind about him. But the 2 test matches he played, he scored 3 goals. He's doing very well. His name is Asinjai. So we want to work on this particular position so that we can have intelligent players that can get ball to our strikers so that we can give problems.
You've started a project in 2015-2016 that is for the Gambia under-20.
Yeah.
You were almost a whisker away from qualifying the Gambia in the under-20 championship. Unfortunately, you lost to Guinea in the away leg when, at the home leg it ended 0-0. That the same team continued, and some of those players were part of the WAFU. Now here you have the opportunity to start another new project, perhaps with these players. If you had the opportunity to go into the WAFU this time around and even probably win it, how far is that going to take Gambian football?
Well, Gajaga, when I came into Gambian football, I came with a mission. That is not because Omar Sise just came. I came to do something because I was fortunate in many places I went to in short career of my coaching. I have always made something. So when I came in, definitely my main hope was to coach the senior team. When I was told that I need experience, I don't like it. But today I respect that point of view because to coach a senior national team, you have to have an experience. I went through those rehabilitation. That's when I started with the under-20. I worked very hard to build that team, but unfortunately, we couldn't get where we want to be. We graduated to the under-23. I have worked hard with the FA to organize a couple of test matches to prepare the team, to keep the team together so that we can do well in the Olympics. I try to follow up the footsteps of Aliou Cisse, okay? But my dreams went dies when we were ruled out of the Olympics. It was frustrating for me.
Yes, because you were preparing for the Olympic qualifiers. I
would say I never have something that disturbs me in my life. Sometimes in the middle of the night, I would sit down and think why we've been ruled out. Sometimes I would think...
So when you say rule out, is it because you don't participate?
Because the FA
because the funds are not available?
There is no fund.
Fund, yeah.
And you cannot do anything if they don't have funds.
Yeah.
We all know that government is not helping them. And things are very tight with them. So you cannot blame them, And I said, okay, if I don't go to Olympics, let me hope for Chan. And when Chan comes, I heard that we were not registered for Chan also. So it was like a drought for me. I was sitting for a while, and I was very happy when the WAFU came, and I was called to go to WAFU. The beginning of my preparation was very difficult because it is during the window open. Most of the young players are hoping to go and try their chances in Europe. So that is what even affects us against Senegal game, because we have to use players that are not experienced. We have to use players that we brought in to give them trials to see if we can use them. Most of the experienced players, likes of Mbaye Faye, Sadi Gueye, and Games, they travel. So we totally have to make a team out of what we have. And everybody have sinned. We have made a mistake. Those players, some of them made mistake. It's normal in football. We consider 2 goals. But at the end, we came back to make changes and stable the game. We score goals. Referee ruled them out. It's normal. But it was not good night for us. But it's good night. At the same time, we know our mistake. We know who to bring, who not to bring, how we have to play. Because if you can lose to Senegal 2-0 and come back to dominate them in the second half, and you maintain the same team, you work very hard, things can be better.
Things can be better. On that note, we are going to take a short commercial break, and when we return, we will continue with Qsports. Welcome back, and thank you very much if you're just joining us. This is Qsports, and I'm Mamadou Gajaga. My guest on the show tonight is Omar Cisse, coach of the Gambia under-23 team that is setting up preparations to get to the WAFU Cup of Nations, the 2019 edition, which will be hosted in Senegal, in Chess to be precise. Omar Cisse was talking about his team's preparations, that he has the arsenals in his team to be able to upset Ghana this time around. He does not want to lose to them for the second time. Omar, now when it comes to facilities, logistics and issues of that nature, Senegal is just next door. Is everything in place?
So far, yes. We have started working on final build-up to Senegal about logistics and orders. As I wrap up this with you, I will be with Alaji Boy to talk about some other things the team managed. The training was okay. We were well supported, although the FA was busy with the senior team preparation and all these things. The only disadvantage for us, our game was cancelled. We were supposed to go to Senegal, but due to the 7 and 6, the FA cannot, so it was moved to the 14. Senegalese also were playing I think the under-23 game, so they cannot play that game. So now we will be camp on Friday, and then this Wednesday we'll play a test match. Thursday we'll play a test match at the stadium. Then we'll camp on Friday, and then we will be in camp for 4 or 5 days or 6 days. Then we will go to Dakar.
You're mostly at an advantage when it comes to getting to Senegal early and acclimatizing. Okay, well, one fine. Some people would say we all have the same weather, which is actually true, us in Senegal, but how about getting to the venue and acclimatizing yourself with how issues are there? I'm sure you were there for the draw, but the actual stadium, seeing how it feels and all that, don't you think that's also going to be very important?
The last time I went to this Chase Stadium was 2009, when I was,
that was a long time
when I was a Ross technical director in Senegal. I used to play some games there. I heard it was rebuilt, so I don't know much about it recently. I just recently heard that we will camp at Jambar complex in Sali, in Bour. So we will also travel by land instead of by air.
Okay.
Because Ivory Coast and others, they came by land to Ghana last time.
Yeah.
So climate-wise is normal. Gambia and Senegal is pretty much the same. We'll go into the tournament 3 days before our kickoff. So in these 3 days, I think we will have time to adopt some things that are not the same. But
don't you think also, Omar, you would have seized the advantage of sending somebody there to go and see how the pitch looks like, how the stadium, or yourself, you can just go into Dakar?
Yeah, I was speculating that to watch Generation Foot's last game, which was played there. But we were very busy with training, and my dad was also not very well. So I took this advantage during the weekend to go to the village to visit my dad. But nonetheless, we can also do that as soon as we arrive in Bour, to go and see the nature of the pitch. But you know, our neighbors, if Gambian delegates went to the pitch just like that to see the pitch, you know, they will think otherwise. But definitely we'll have a day that we will see the pitch. It is WAFU. They played in only one pitch. The same in Ghana. You were there. So we didn't know the pitch until the day we were about to play. I was very upset. You see how that pitch was very bad. On TV, it's very nice, but when you get inside
the field, yeah.
Yeah, but I heard they have experts that will work on pitches, so probably that will make things a little bit better.
Is it affecting African football?
It is, definitely.
How bad
it is, definitely. I think as far as this tournament is organized, it could be divided. Even the time they are saying, if they divide the tournament into 3 stadiums, they can play the whole tournament in a African Cup of Nations format.
Yeah.
They can have 2 games in each stadium, and then it will play rapidly and it will be done. Everybody, and it's going to be good for the teams. But like I said, they came with a good idea to help, but I think they should take experts to help them to implement the idea rather than they do, because everything is done in South Africa.
Everything is done in South Africa, and do you think the support of Fox Africa is helping WAFU a little bit in terms of improving? Because there were some stages or years ago in which this WAFU competition was cancelled because of lack of funding. But with the coming of things has improved. Not perfect, but
the intervention of Fox is good, but Gayaga, I will believe if I want to help you, you know how you want to be helped. So I have to let you do in a way that will help you. Fox is spending money, but it's the same Fox who's doing remote control of everything about the game. They're buying tickets. They do. Even the host Senegal is not doing anything. So even you host the tournament, they will come and do everything. You host will not. This is a claim that we claim. Everybody want this thing to be changed during the workshop. Let them bring the money, allocate to the host and the organization WAFU, and then advise them, and then they play the role that they will play. Definitely, I really appreciate their intervention, and they are doing very well. The tournament is well organized, but these things should be put into consideration.
These things should be put into consideration. My guest was Omar Cisse. But on a final note, let's check that penalty. Gambia versus Ghana, WAFU Cup of Nations 2017 in Ghana. And you can judge for yourself, penalty or no penalty.
Sado could have got into it. Thomas Sabe driving this one in. And a penalty to Ghana. Well, it is a handball according to a drag over car, and the Gambians are not happy at all.
Let's have a look at it, because there's a handball out here somewhere.
Well, it was missed here by Felix. Thomas Sabe tried. This was it.
This is it now. Yes, there it is. Arm out. It is definitely ball to harm, but at the end of the day, his arm is trying to make a bigger object to try and stop the defender ball coming by. Very brave decision by the referee.
On that note, thank you very much for watching Qsports. Until we come your way next week, keep on sporting and bye for now.